What's going on, Jalen Jackson? How you doing today? We are taking these to Medford, Oregon. From I think we loaded in Evanston, Wyoming. We're headed to Medford, Oregon. I think old Red Eye is going to do a 6-day run. How's your guys' Sunday going? We puffin' and we passin'. Hell yeah, brother. Hell, we'll do it right here. We puffin' and we passin'. Cheers. Blue Dream I have right now is harsh, man. I like that. I'm an indica dude myself.
Hell no, Einstein couldn't even stop stupidity, but he was insane, remember? My toe is pissed.
Ah, dang, man. Yeah, keep smoking, keep stroking. We gone. I can't stand this part of Nevada, dude. The road textures are terrible. Like, it looks like 2016. They have a Reforma that you can download for the road textures, and I need to download that, like, stat. hard, I tell you what. My nose is running now. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. It's helped a bunch. We're about 8 away from, if I remember last night, we was 8 away from 1,000 subscribers. So appreciate the support. Oh, thank God, man. We need to stop up here. Alright, hang on a second here. We gotta get situated.
There was someone else. Oh, we couldn't get it. They'd be right here. They dancing, singing, praying. Most of them praying that I get out of here. But they're singing and praying in my radio. Super 790 down to turn it up.
Alright, sorry about that. I hit the old puffin so hard that my nose was running. Anyways, are we, we're heading to Medford right now. I don't know though. I think we're going to keep doing streaming. It's been a lot of fun. You guys think we should, I got an empty room in my house that I've never used. And, I thought about turning it into a studio, man. Like I could put up my posters and my lights and, I don't really want the webcam on me the whole time because I do like to smoke, you know, and I don't want to be like advocating, you know what I mean, for bad habits. So I kind of thought maybe just get the webcam, and then for the majority of the time I'll just put it towards the dog's bed, you know what I mean, and people can admire my dog, and I don't know, we'll come up with something like shout out for Pet the Puppy or something. We won't get much gaming done though, because you know how people will be like, oh, pet the dog. But anyways, yeah, I think we'll take it a little more serious. I got a webcam now, but I won't lie, I really don't want one in my bedroom. You know my luck, my ex-girlfriend would be like, that motherfucker, he's still using that dirty old curtain. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't see, like, you know, I just don't see the need to, you know, like, we're all here for the game. So, anyways, we puffing and we passing. Breaking. Yeah. Real nice. If I go do something too where I can take videos at work, we'll start doing that too. In the past, I've always had jobs that you can't even take pictures of or anything. If you get caught taking pics or bids at work, you get fired, mainly because they're worried that someone's gonna like steal their ideas of the way they do things, which is comical because, like I tell you know, like we all, like, dude, it's 2025. There is no trade secrets. Nobody's reinventing the fucking wheel in secrecy, at least in the coal mines and the log trucking industry. The only kind of revolutionary tech I've ever seen come out of one hole in the ground was from Peabody. They took an old miner body frame chassis and turned it into like a tail piece. So it's pretty much just like makes doing belt moves easier and faster from what I gathered. And I'm a mechanic, so I ain't a belt. I can't say the word on YouTube. We call belt guys. Anyways, but those guys that do that shit for a career, you know, they're 10 times the man I am. You know, even though we got degrading nicknames for each other. There isn't a common respect and understanding for them. You know, that's what society doesn't get. They think that, well, you say that, you mean that. It's like, oh, hell no. And old Joey knows we're joking. You don't think he's dim. You know what I mean? Like, what happened back in the day where it was, like, if you didn't get picked on, that meant they did not like you. But if they picked on you to the point that you didn't want to cry, that meant they was your friends. I didn't cry, but man, when I was like 19, I was 19 years old, and I was working at a Les Schwab's. I didn't work there very long. I just worked there briefly in between jobs, and I had some 30-year-old punk poking me in the chest while bitching me out, and this guy could fire me if he wanted to, because that was his, he was a manager. That was his job. And I remember, like, I was so mad because my dad just got run over and was in a coma, and like my whole world was, and then I got this punk half my size poking me in the chest, and there ain't a damn thing I can do about it because I need that $9.25 an hour, and I need it real bad. Oh man, if I ever see that guy again. I haven't thought about that for a long time, but what the hell was that derelict's name anyways? I know his first name is Jason, but we'll just go ahead and put his whole name up on the screen, for the world. But anyways, whatever happened to the day? We're going fast. So when I first started doing this American Truck Simulator series, it was really about the quest of, like, oh man, there's got to be some cool stuff to find, mods, Easter eggs. So far, the only Easter egg we found was Cyclops Man in the mountain. We found him yesterday, actually. That was in Washington, along I-5, I think, or is it I-95? I don't know. No, I-95's on the East Coast, ain't it? As they go. How's that work?
On you. Good morning to you.
Come on.
837 back to you. Yeah, I'm in Alabama.
The interstate's okay. Interstate 90. I'm trying to remember the. We'll have to restudy that. The horizontal and parallel organizing of the interstates, like north and south, and east and west, and they have the. Yeah, I'll have to restudy that if I'm going to explain that the way they designated it. It's really cool though. Once you learn it, it's like, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense. But honestly, knowing stuff like that's not a bad thing. It's not completely useless information. Yeah, when we first started doing this, it was just about like, oh hey, yeah, let's find all the cool mods and trucks and trailers. And, well, we've pretty much found everything there is to find, and there wasn't much to find. Hopefully with this game coming out to console 2026, it'll bring back some modders and get a fresh set. I mean, dude, there's a lot of trailers. Like, I'm not a modder, but you can't tell me, like, 18 Wheels still has more cargo than this game has, and I didn't buy them individually. I ended up with a value pack I bought here in Fall Self. I think it was I know it wasn't much because I've got less than $20 tied up in my American Truck Simulator. I know that much, and I only paid so it's $15, and I got all the cargoes. I have every cargo pack except the Kroger Farm equipment, and there's not enough cargo, man. Even for the bins and the belly dumps. And that's the other thing that's really disappointing. Like, when you go on a belly dump or a side dump or an end dump job, and you just park it up, you know, and it's like, you guys really could not make an animation for the box to go up and the tailgate to open. And like, it was that freaking hard. They couldn't make it happen. But, oh well. But I really want a cold bucket. Because out here on the Powder River Basin, where a lot of the map is focused, there's a lot of cold buckets that run between Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and Nevada. You don't see them out in Oregon and California as much because it's not as profitable to truck coal that far. The stuff's not worth much as it is, as far as it's like, I don't know what a truckie's getting for it, but I know that the guy buying it direct is paying $42 a ton. So I don't know what the trucking cost. I imagine it's not much. I should stream and play this game though when I'm really, really stressed out. It'd probably be entertaining because I could sit here and just talk to myself about all my, you know, how we do it. We all do it. If you say you don't do it, you're just a liar, or you're in denial. And accepting is the first step, But I was just watching one dude's live stream, and he was talking about a new wheel and $1,450, you know, and when I was a kid, I loved racing. I wanted a wheel, and I asked my parents for it. You know what I got? I've never got a wheel. Never. I think, if I remember right, I just took the whole fucking computer away. No, my mom did, though. That was my mom's thing. But it's funny now, because, you know, now that people know the internet's more than just porn, they use it, and then it's like we were telling our brother one time, we were like, you know, maybe you should have let us play computer back in the day, you know, because YouTube, that ended up becoming a pretty big thing, huh? It's, you know, it's like, yeah, we were on to something, too, because, I mean, we were there, 90s and 2000s, you know, and I don't think I would have ever got into it. I didn't have the charisma. I was such a, just like, I was a really polite, soft-spoken kid. So, what's going on? It's going good. Sunday's going good, but we slept in today. We stayed up late last night. Now we're here to do it all again today. I was saying yesterday, dude, I was like, this is worse than my real fucking job. I thought that, like, oh man, we'll just, we got the cruise control on, and we don't even have our speakers turned up right now. We're listening to Conway Twitty rambling useless information with y'all. How is your Sunday going, though, most importantly, man? Mine's going good, as you can tell here. We got the long hood, we got some smokes, My real dog is laying there in my bed right now, looking comfortable. Like, life is good, man. I'd rather be out doing shit, you know, like doing fun stuff, traveling in real life. But right now, hey, this beats, you know, beats alternatives. Sitting around watching cars rust is what we'd be doing if we didn't have the computer right now. We do have so much time for this because we live, like, I'm telling you, I live in a ghost town, man. It's literally, I could, if I drive 100 miles, I can get to a Walmart and, you know, civilization. But I've kind of ran out of stuff to do while being out here. We did, and I didn't YouTube it back then like a dummy. We did a repower. I did. Me and my, when I say we, I mean me and my 3 other personalities. We did a repower on my '68 Plymouth. It got a brand new 440 that I managed to find out here in the desert in an old Winnebago, and it's just a 440 Super Commando clone. Nothing too crazy. It's like 325 horse. You know, just an old family car back in the '60s. And then I'm glad it's going good, Mr. Jackson. And then on my Power Stroke, we ended up doing a motor for it, and I bought the motor used out of the junkyard in the next county. I thought, wow, man, 150,000 miles on an OBS Power Stroke. That was just too cool. Let's grab that. And I threw it in my truck. It had a bad ejector cup, so I took it back out because, yeah, it was fucking 30 below in the wintertime, and I can't fit the whole mama jama in the shop. So I just pulled the engine back out real quick, threw it in the garage, did the ejector cups, threw it back in the truck, drove it for about 4 months. Well, there was a 1/4-inch extension in the driver's side cylinder head all the way in the back, and it bounced off the intake valve for 4 months. 3,500 miles it floated around in there, and until it rubbed a hole in the cylinder head and started letting coolant into the intake that way. I couldn't believe it. So anyways, we did what we do best and scabbed together cylinder heads. Well, that thing ran really good this year. We did all that in December of last year, and then the hole in the head surfaced in, it was like in April, and then I had it rebuilt and done again by myself. I don't pay nobody to do nothing. Hell, I won't even buy parts if I don't have to. The only thing I buy is seals and gaskets, because I hate leaks and I hate doubling back to fix a fucking leak. So we always put the money down on seals and gaskets. But anyways, I had got another set of heads, threw them on there, and it's been really great. My torque converter's smoked, so I need to text that guy actually and see if he still has that powertrain for sale, and we might be able to get that. And I think we'll start live streaming the repairs and maintenance I do to my vintage vehicles that I use in this world every day. Now they're not semis and I'm not out trucking with them. But a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't use an old car." Oh, we might flip over a little bit. You can't use an old car or an old truck to make a living. Bullshit. I've been doing it for 11 years. I've never bought a new car. I've never bought one on credit. I've always just bought them outright. So yeah, we did all of that, and then some of the other stuff that, some of the other maintenance things we could dig into, either not really needed to be done. And I did just stick new axle under the front of my pickup too here 2 weeks ago. I did replace it Dana 55 with Dana 55. I didn't do a solid axle swap, mainly because of money. The $1,200 for a straight axle, and I got my Dana 55 for free, and then I threw spring bushings, hangers, the ball joints and everything are still good in that Dana 55, so I didn't do those right now. But yeah, we went from a 3-leaf spring to a 2-leaf spring, and between just the spring bushings and the spring hanger eyes, even though we lost a leaf, it sits like 2 inches higher. We still need to do the other side because those are a 2-piece. I did the driver's side first, mainly because the pivot arm bushing was spitting itself out and eating up tires. I just threw some new wheels and tires on there. The tires are used. They're like new old stock as far as they're brand new tires, but they sat for 15 years, so they're old. But I run them. I've run Maypops all the time, and I'm telling you, man,
if you're ever going through a hard time and you're running bad tires, underinflating a tire is really bad for a tire. But if that thing's about ready to blow out, you just drop it down to 35, 40 pounds. You know, I'm talking on like your 10-ply radial that you run on your pickup. You drop that thing down there to like 35, 40 pounds. So when it does pop, it ain't too much of a, there ain't a whole lot of energy behind it versus if it's blowing up to 80, 90 pounds. But anyways, we'll probably do it's a son of a gun. The only real hard part on those is why are you slowing down there, blue cars, man? The only real hard part is the spring eyes, the bolts rust to the bushings, the collar, and then the collar, it just, if you've ever tried to pull leaf springs on a pickup or a truck, trucks are easier because most of them are greasable, and then they either slide in like Peterbilt, International Freightliner. Everybody I can think of besides Kenworth and International uses a sliding spring eye pin. Kenworth and International. Or is it Western? I think it's Western Star. They use a threaded one, which isn't a bad gig if you got the socket to, come on, Mac, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Why? Get out of the road. Move it, sister. Here, I'll help you park. Fucking idiot. I love the AI in this game, dude. It's terrible. It's bad. But anyways, back to my meaningless rambles. But yeah, you know what I mean if you've ever tried to change springs or something on a pickup, even a car, they always rust, corrode. And usually it's because they use like a zinc coated product and it just doesn't, I don't know how to explain it, it just doesn't hold up. When I was younger though, I really wanted to try to find me a 379 Peterbilt with the Ultra Cab, the regular sleeper, and then get work between Salt Lake and Denver, and that was my goal when the coal mine shut down. And then when I ended up getting stuck taking care of my dad, mentally I was not fucking prepared, and nobody did, I don't think, unless you've been through it already. And so that kind of killed that dream. And then so much has changed with me that where I'm like, man, I don't know if I can handle destruction. I've turned into more of a vagabond than I have anything. A nomad, I should say. To where I'm like, I think I could just go live in a swamp shack and really care about success or family or having having anything anymore. I think I'll get past that. I hope I do. It's been 5 years, and it ain't because of COVID. That didn't kill my will to live. It happened after that, and I don't know. I stumbled on a couple of the older YouTube channels I used to watch, like FCS Trucking. That dude's badass, man. He's an independent. He does like what we do here on this video game, but he does it for like it's his life. But this dude puts his GoPros up and stuff, like it's really cool. And he's got a badass 379 Peterbilt called Black Dog. And then when I found his channel, he was using his old I think it's a Peterbilt. Yeah, it's a Peterbilt cab over. It's like a 352 Peterbilt cab over with a B-model cat. And he's got that in his shop right now. He's doing it up. Anyways, it's just like all the people that I was around that had trucks and did and done, they're long gone. They're still alive. They all went broke. And it was like the guys that were doing it right, they went broke, and the guys that were doing it wrong went broke. So, that being said, it's kind of like nerve-wracking as far as it's like, hey, yeah, that guy was prone to fail, but the other guy wasn't. And so things went down hard, and I don't know, man. Maybe that's just, but that's just life, though. I remember when I was a kid, back in the '90s, watching TV, and they would have a plant or factory worker come up there for an interview, and he would talk about how, you know, he's been there for 34 years, set to retire, a year and a half, and they just fucking stole the pension or canned the pension, you know. And I remember thinking, like, wow, well, good thing I don't work at a factory. My family doesn't work at a factory. And then when I was like 12, they had the big strike at the union mine, and everything got real scary. But it didn't quite settle in yet, though. We had another 5 years, and then another 5 years went up, and they had a contract, and then they had a buyout. And luckily, my dad did retire when he did. If not, he would have lost his pension. And if he didn't have that, hell, we wouldn't be able to afford to keep him out of health folks home now that he's comatose. The point is, though, is it's just a lot of timing for everybody. For our parents, our grandparents, for us, for our children, it's just going to be a lot of timing. My timing's been bad, but, you know, I've learned to say recently that you got to just be grateful to say, hey, you know, I got to work in the logging industry after the spotted owl, and I didn't work for Weyerhaeuser, man. I worked for the LLCs, you know, the little man, and they were the big kids on the block too, so it was pretty cool to be able to experience it. And then coming back here to the Powder River Basin, all these mines I've worked at, you know, yeah, sure, working at 3-4 different mines in 3 years isn't good, but you know what? 3 of them are shut down, long gone, ain't never coming back, Jack. So after that, I was really sad at first. I was like, dude, this sucks. I made it, and now it's going, like it's gone. It's going, and she gone. And that was like, make a guy feel down. And then one day it hit me. I was like, what the fuck am I sad about? If I didn't go 2 years sooner, if I would have dragged my feet even another year or 6 months, I never would have even seen these places. Never would have been able to go there or say I've been there. So who cares if it's gone? At least you got to go. You know, it's all about the point of view. Which side of the fence you want to stand on, and how you want to look at it, man. That is a beautiful thing about it is you can manipulate the fuck out of yourself. And there ain't no wrong in that, as long as it's for the best, right? I don't know how people do it though, man. It's nuts. A lot of people are able to they put on the blinders and they go out and they play the game, and they don't blink, they don't bitch, and some of them make it. That is the awesome thing. That's been really cool though. Been able to see a few of my friends that I grew up with that came from nothing establish something for themselves and take the good from the bad and actually make something out of it for them. You know, when everybody's shutting down and going away, well, there's still some people that left, and there's still somebody that's got to do the job. So some of my friends that went to work for themselves, they've done really good for themselves. Yeah, sure, you know, it's all sacrifices and compromises, but it is refreshing to be like, nah, there's still people out there making it and getting the upper hand, getting the ball in their field, and that's cool. Because, like, yeah, this is a relaxation. This is this is wasting time, and it's nice. You know, the only real benefit, though, I can say from playing truck sim as much as I have been, the only good part is meeting new fine people, and you get to see the sunset and the sunrise more. And yeah, sure, it's a digital sunset and sunrise, but you know, you only get to see so many of those in your life, and most of them you never take the time to stop to see. So that's been the one. I don't know if that's a weird thing to pick up, but that's one thing I've picked up from this, and the hundreds of hours we spent here the last 2 months, is that, well, you get to see some pretty cool skyboxes, and yeah, some areas don't look nothing like they really do, but some of these areas, I'm imagining they use satellite imagery to recreate or take at least the work out of creating the you know, you can get, like, for me, I've been to a lot of these places I like to go on here, and I can kind of be like, oh, it's kind of cool, man. That looks, it's brought back a lot of memories. That's been the one thing. It has brought back. We're making up words today. It brought back a lot of memories, man. I tell you what. But it has brought back a lot of memories from when I was like 17, 21 years old, and first started learning what's a 359, what's a 379. I don't even think the 389 had come out yet. And I know the T880s and stuff haven't. I remember when those things launched. I remember when the T800 was like, whoa, man, that thing's a spaceship. And then all of a sudden, bam, the T880. Anyways, but yeah, this game's brought back a lot of memories. I think we favor the 359 extended hood with the Corvette dash because it's like the truck I used to drive as an oiler. Excuse me. Looking back too, I can remember nights going into work and it'd be like, oh, the luber quit, the oiler quit. You're gonna have to go drive the lube truck before, you know, it's like, and I hated it. I fucking hated it because, like, when I started there and I ran the lubie, it was a nice truck because I took care of it. And then, anyways, they hire these derelicts and they just pig pen it out, you know, all the grease, diesel, dirt, grease, mud. So you'd go to get in it and it was just a big old saturated fucking neglected, and that talk about put a guy in a bad mood dealing with neglected equipment. So anyways, looking back though, man, I'd be more than happy to go drive the lubie all night long too. Hell, there was a full-time position there, but honestly it didn't take no full-time. Take full time, but you know, they'd hire a lot of people that just didn't know what the fuck they were doing, so it would take them a lot of time. And when I started there, we had over 50 trucks at our yard, and then that you would fuel and lube. You didn't grease them there though, you just oiled them. They took, you know, truck shop stuff and took them into the shop to lube. Bad, and they got rid of that position completely. They started making drivers get their own fueling and stuff. It was funny, man. They were running out of fuel because for 20 years they've had someone filling their truck, so they wouldn't even remember the deal. They'd take off with empty tanks and cry about it, whine about it. I was watching a dude stream, and his dream is, you know, he really thrives to have a fleet of classic trucks that work and make money. And but he, like he said, he's like, oh, you just gotta find drivers to drive them. And that was the exact problem they had at my work, was they couldn't find drivers, so they hired anybody. And a lot of trucks got wrecked that way. let's look at our stats real quick. I drove hard last night, dude. Yeah, we drove 3,500 miles almost last night. 4,500 miles actually, because I put that we were at 6. Yeah, woo-wee, man.
Little boy, we appreciate you taking your time, extending your right hand to me and mine.
Yeah, we are, Jackson. I don't know if you tuned in last night, my man, but we finally settled in with our second truck. We picked up the W900A model. We threw the Big Cam 2 Cummins in it, and then we drove it most of last night. It's a good truck, but the cab textures and the windshields and things, it's just, it's got some bad traits, but it is a great truck. It only cost us $80,000 for that setup right there. So yeah, man, we're in it to win it. Now it's all, and you know, we're making a whole $1,000 a day, man. We're in them.
727, get your mind out there, boy.
I guess a good way to say it is like, I would rather be doing this in real life any day of the week. But you know what, man? My work shut down. When I say my work shut down, I'm talking 4 different companies across 1,200 different miles. So I guess I did kind of give up. I did give up. You know what I mean? I said, fuck it. This sucks. And, out here where I'm at now, like, I've kind of looked into the trucks. Everybody's running DPF. Everybody, all the independent, all the bull haul, you know, you got a couple families out there that own a truck or 2 trucks that are kind of cool. But as far as having fleets of, you know, 50, 60 to 100, or, you know, just 20 trucks that are independently owned and operated. Oh, that's a lumber train there. Weyerhaeuser Wood. Or, they got the curtains pulled up. It's either Northwest Hardwoods, Georgia Pacific, or Weyerhaeuser right there. The other thing is, too, I've gone on and on about is, I couldn't imagine being a driver right now because of the, you know, especially if you're stuck on the interstate with, as a company driver that doesn't have any freedom or any rights as far as where you go and what you do. You can't decide nothing, so to speak. You've seen truck stops, they're disgusting cesspools. Fucking pits, most of them. Out here in the west, from what I'm hearing, these guys back east are saying that they still have kind of nice truck stops. But out here where I'm at, and then the further west you go, the worse it gets. So when I imagine living out of those, and just think, I don't want to do that. I don't think anybody would, really. Yeah, I try not to think about it, about the what's next. Like right now, you know, it's kind of weird analogy, but taking care of someone it's a lot like working somewhere as it's shutting down, so to speak. Well, they're dying, just like metaphorically a company's dying when it's going broke. So you're kind of just sitting around waiting to lose your job, and all you can do is prepare yourself the best as you can for it. You know what I mean? That's like where the brain goes. Is okay, well, ride it out and prepare yourself for it. And so that's where we came up with gaming and streaming, because I thought, man, we're spending a lot of money driving around, killing time, going up in the movies, because I do, like I said, I live out in the middle of nowhere, so I drive around out in the hills all the time. And then start working on everything as far as like, oh, we'll fix things up, make things better. Hey, I got the green arrow, bro. Wait your turn. I waited my turn. But, so yeah, I started like working on all my projects, and I was like, gosh, I'm spending my savings on fixing things up. And then these parts you buy nowadays are really bad. So it gets expensive or it gets repetitive. If you buy cheap parts, you're going to be doing it 3 times in the next 2 years because it don't last. Yeah, sure, it's got a warranty, so you don't have to pay to replace it, but if you do your own mechanic, hell, if you don't do your own mechanic, you got to pay someone to replace it every time. So anyways, that being said, so I jumped on the Xbox, and just, I was having fun, but I was like, man, I wanted a computer for 15 years. I'm finally getting one. I have the time for it right now, and never expected that it would turn into getting a computer and Truck Simulator until the wheels fall off, but it's been fun. It's almost made me like trucks again. I won't lie. Because for the last couple of years, man, I see a truck that looks cool, and I'm like, well, whatever. Big, dirty, heavy parts, greasy piece of shit. Federal government, state government, over-regulated. Just all that stuff runs through my brain. All the realities of it, and it sucked the fun right out of it. And then since I started playing Truck Simulator, I've seen a few rigs going down the highway, and I'm like, that's a cool truck, man. Man, I bet that guy's just stressed out, but man, he sure is having fun in the meantime. So that's been kind of weird. I didn't expect a video game to reignite my, I guess you'd say, like, I just want to see something you like. And then after a while, it just kind of goes away. And then come back. That's what we're talking about. But I'm really bummed out, man. There's like 10 different game versions. All the mods are on different versions. Modders are crying about they keep changing stuff and they won't release the information, so it breaks the mods. We have to start over from scratch. I guess there's not access to the information on coding, they claim. I don't know what makes it work behind the scenes. Sounds so good. But yeah, so like we're running at 1.56. Last night I tried to go back to 1.55 because I have like some premium mods, paid mods that only work at 1.55 that I really want to use. But my game save is incompatible, and I'm like, man, I am just getting comfortable on this account, and we've put, what did that say, 112 or 120 hours into it. So I'm not going to start over yet again. this for so long, and then we get bored, and then we start. It's like literally a bad habit. I'll get bored, start browsing mods, I'll find mods, I'll throw them on there. It breaks the game. I've done it twice. We'll do it 3. We'll probably do it 10 times. I noticed though, it seems like people like watching starting from scratch, but once you're like past the first, like once you get your own truck and your own trailer and you're doing your own thing, people are like not as eager to watch. And I think that's because they want to know, like if they ever play the game, they want to know little tips and tricks, right? Watch gameplay. I won't lie, dude. I try not to talk in my streams because I watch my own at night. Sometimes I'll turn them on, like on the long ones, like the 8-10 hour ones that not a lot happens besides struggling. I'll turn them on and it puts me to sleep as far as background noise. It works. Like I've tried using other people's videos, and there's just something about the CV static and the trucks just that stuff's like therapy to me, I guess. I thought about it. The best thing I can do if we keep streaming is pick up a second computer so we can take a little bit of load off the line. When I don't stream, everything runs like twice as good. And I mean, I'm on ultra graphics right now. I have turned down depth of field. I turned down the depth of field to try to help. And try to help with streaming. So anyways, yeah, that, like I said, we need to go to that other, we need to go to the spare bedroom, hang up some lights, put up some flags and posters, get the webcam so we can hang out. I just don't understand why people want to see the streamer, like, unless it's a chick, I get that. But I won't lie, when I was younger, I used to watch those lady streamers, because I thought, oh wow, dude, that's cool. And then now there's just so many chicks that are like, I'm gonna get into video gaming and start streaming it, so dudes will send me money. And it's like, alright, ladies, I appreciate the hustle, but OnlyFans, that's what you got. Go do it. What's that one YouTuber that started at OnlyFans? And it's not like for version, it's literally like a joke as far as he puts his life. Oh, right on, Jackson. Thanks. I tell you what, though, I fried my brain. The nervous system. I never really understood how many like you meet people and you come across people and you're like, damn, that chick's fucked up. They got issues, and it's stress, man. That's so I can see it since I've kind of got myself into that basket. Well, luckily I didn't like lose my marbles completely and go ape. But I can tell that, like, man, my nervous system and my mental health has declined just from stressing out over crap. Holy crap. And so that being said there, I try not to talk too much just because it's like, shut up is what I'm telling myself, because I get tired of hearing myself talk. But anyways, yeah, you kind of got to ramble on because it gets boring. It's 1 to 20 scale, so if we did 65,000 miles divided by 20, what would that be? That's 20 miles for every, I think it's 20 miles for every 1,000, right? It wouldn't be 20 for every 100. There's no way it would be 20 miles for every 100. Actually, that would be 20 miles for every 100. Pull out an old calculator. But yeah, they just stress, man. And due to the algorithm in the phone listening to us, I can think of like 50 examples of people that endured stuff 10 times worse than my hardships. So I try to be grateful for that. I can't even find my calculator app. But the timing of it was impeccable as far as we went into 2019 with COVID, and even though I lived out west where things were out of line, overregulated, we kept working. We didn't talk about it. We didn't do nothing besides wash our hands, and everything was fine. Everybody stayed healthy. Everybody kept working, and then in January 2021. Belly fell out, and a lot of it was things caught up as far as all the mills shutting down and all the loggers, logging because they weren't about to quit working over so all of a sudden you got all this wood, everybody, no work, and so work shuts down, and that ended up being permanent for them. They were around for over 100 years too, so that was a big deal. And then, like I said about an hour ago, there was people doing it right that went down, and there was people that were doing it wrong that went down. It was not prejudice as far as everybody, different shapes and sizes, and different standings, went bankrupt. So I moved back home to the Rocky Mountains, and then Jim Bridger, it's shut down. Kemmer, it's shut down. 20 Mile, it's shutting down here at the end of the year. The only one left is Skyline, and it's a terrible company, Rand Coal Mine, that'll run prison labor in there if they have to. If they can't find nobody to show up for work, they'll hire the prison labor from the state of Utah. That's probably why their doors are still open, you know what I mean? So, on top of all of that, in the middle of that was when I ended up starting to become a caregiver for the old man with a traumatic brain injury, and then he seems to be getting dementia on top of it, and that was when whatever kind of stress can become deteriorative to your cognitive mental health. That's when that stuff started to take its toll on me, man. And I'm doing better now, luckily. Like, I think it's been 3 years since I quit drinking. That helped. Alcohol don't help nothing. Mainly just because of the fact that the way the chemicals interact with your brain. There's no way, man. There ain't no man of steel that ain't nobody gonna keep the grip on that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't miss drinking at all. Alcohol, that shit's poison. And so that was a good thing that came from it. What's that one guy? He's got that YouTube channel. Lives in he bought that old mining town in California, and he lives out there. He's been out there now for 3-4 years, and he's a different character as far as like introvert or whatever. So that's a pretty good environment for him probably. But anyways, after 3 years of like randomly tuning into his YouTube and stuff while he's living in that abandoned ghost mining town in California, you can kind of watch that guy lose his marbles. It's an interesting it's an interesting view, I guess you'd say. seeing what the isolation does, and find us something good. We do want to stay on the coast. We want to stay out of California, though. Unfortunately, California down to Eureka and Redding, Northern California is actually pretty nice. But yeah, once you get down here, as you can tell on this profile, we haven't even gone down there at all. There's just no, I don't know how to explain it, but like the textures, the map, everything looks crappy because it's the original ATS. There's not enough traffic in the cities. Yeah, we'll
hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On this barefoot Uniden 786 radio, seeing the big out in the skip land. Emerald, cleared, I'm standing back in this corner.
they might have some cool lowboy stuff to do here. Yeah, they do. Let's go pick that bad boy up. Yeah, I never dreamed American Truck Simulator would end up becoming American History Simulator. There's still a few guys out there getting her done,
I'll be back in a minute.
There's still a few of them out there getting her done, but man, talking about hard time in the neighborhood. You guys like this Caterpillar 8-inch straight pipe machine? That's the worst thing about it too. Like when I was saying about taking care of someone, it's just kind of like working somewhere that's shutting down because you're pretty much just waiting for it to end, and then you get that mindset where you're like, God, I can't wait for this to end. I can't wait for it to be over and to get to what's next. And then you realize, well, what's next is them dying. So it's a bittersweet double-edged knife. You get to, it's just, that's the best way to explain it. It's just a double-edged knife, man. You're getting cut on both sides. And this stuff ain't good for you as far as sitting around playing video games. It makes you soft. Like that one guy says, it gives you soft hands. I know when I did the front axle swap on my truck here 2 weeks ago, I was like, holy crap. As far as I have lost a lot of my strength this last 6 months since I started gaming again instead of doing my other hobbies. So I need to go get the dumbbells, pump some iron, do some curl-ups with a big mama. I don't know, you guys think we should set up a studio though, and I don't know why anybody would want to look at my Neanderthal knuckle dragging ass, but hey, I'm pretty good looking. I've got great hair on the sides too.
do know a lot of people in America, believe it or not, because of my traveling. I know people out here in the Rockies. I know people out in West Virginia, Alabama. I know one person in Kentucky, but I don't really care to know them. No. But out west, I know a lot of people. From my years in the Pacific Northwest, I got to meet a lot of people. Now, are those people watching American Truck Simulator videos? I really doubt it. So, it'd probably be good there. Yeah, if this ever does turn into anything, we will keep doing it, even after we go back to, when we go back to our normal life. We won't have the time, of course. My record in a week is 88 hours underground in 7 days. So, when you got work hitches like that going down, you really don't have the energy for it, you know what I mean? You see that? Just ran that stop sign. What's going on with my traffic? My traffic the last, I don't know, 3 days. Yesterday and today, the traffic mod or what? Mod's not working or something. We puffing, we passing. I had this one stream called, let's see here, Slurricane, and man, that stuff was good. I haven't had that kind of whatever this stuff is strained out of. I have not had in 10 plus years. When I started puffing on it, I knew right away. I was like, whoa, mama. I ain't had this flavor since I was with that big booty Bahama Mama Megan down on the beach. Oh, excuse me. That's that black. What's that, Zoolander? Where he's all like, I got the black love. I actually had one girlfriend that was like, she was asking me what's the cold range like. And I was like, oh, I don't know. What's that one movie called? And she was like, Zoolander? It's like, no. The October one, where the kid sends the rocket kid. Oh, October Sky? I think that's what it's called. It's like, yeah, that one. Where the kid's dad dies at work, and the kid has to go to work in his dad's place? Exactly.
being real live. It's not Humbug. Humbug is down by Gold Beach, Brookings. It's not the Cascades. I don't think Medford is in the Cascade Mountain Range. It's next to it. It's at the base of it. It's on the western base of the Cascades, if I remember right. Yeah, because you drop out of Diamond Lake into Roseburg, and Medford is just south of Roseburg, right? If I remember right? Yeah. I only went to Medford twice, and there was a hydraulic shop there that would rebuild PTOs for the dump trucks, and I had to go up there and pick them up. But I've said it before on this channel, and I'll say it again. They kind of did it in this game, but they didn't fuck it up. The Cascade Mountain Range is by far my favorite mountain range to drive. The fact that you climb, and you know, if you're headed inland, you climb like what, 6,700 feet in 30 miles, and if you ain't, you know, if you're coming back to the coast, you go down that. Anyways, it's a fun ride, and I prefer to do it real late at night, like I'm talking like 3 a.m. on a Saturday, so you don't have no log trucks, you don't have no chip trucks on the highway, and you don't have no people on the highway. That's a drive. I've done it 100 times, but my most favorite 5 times back and forth over the Cascades was in my 68 Plymouth. Back then I was running the old wore out 440 that was full of rainwater. That thing, it was I mean, it ran, but it didn't run, you know. And I was still, man, fucking coming off that thing, you'd get to the base and the car would start running real good because you got that cold, dense air coming off of the sea, and you know, no altitude, you got more dense oxygen. Really makes a difference in an automobile, even in an old diesel, even electronic diesel. You can tell night and day difference. Carburetors and things, and injection pumps and mechanical engines, they don't automatically adjust per altitude, so you catch one thrown down. They don't run worth a shit on road trips the whole way because, you know, well, if you're calibrated for 6,000 feet or if you're calibrated for sea level, you know, and some guys are smart enough, they just take their calibration kits with them and they'll rejet their carburetor. Edelbrock is a metering rod type carb, so you can take metering rods, switch those around to try to lean and enrichen it, but those only work on the secondaries. Holley, they don't use the metering rods. They got a different style, and I don't know it. I'm not a Holley guy. My dad was. I've always been into Edelbrocks mainly because they're simple. But anyways, the Hollies are easier to change the jets on, if I remember right. You just pop your float bowls off of them, and they thread into the side of the body, if I remember right. So you adjust them that way. So Holley guys will always be like, "Oh yeah, well I got that going for me." I've never taken a semi-truck cross country, so I don't know how that works with injection timing and everything on old mechanical motors. Never really talked about it at work either. Hey, my cab lights are working again. Yay! Sometimes you'll paint your truck a certain way, and it'll make your lights quit reflecting off your yeah, so we got that again. bed up here. Or actually, they'll send it back to my garage. Forget it's no farm sim. If it was, I would just leave my trailers all around in this game.
Yeah, I think that'll work a lot better. Alrighty then. 912 Northwest Corner, Illinois. Leave it in for a while. Gotta go out mow the grass. Tell you good evening. 918. Yeah. In the mobile, 837 in the mobile Birmingham.
Dang, man, we're lucky that log was just a little bit taller. A little bit taller, we'd have took a bumper off this thing. That'd be great if this game had damage physics, though. Could you imagine what everybody's trucks would look like if they had damage physics in this game?
He's up on 820 polar bears. I can tell you where he's at. Hey, last call, 903, playing. Let's go.
Petting the dog real quick.
Have a good day out there. Since you know it's 8:37, Big Daddy Papa in the band. We'll see you. Bye.
So where are we taking this to? I didn't even look. Oh, we're going to Laurel, Montana. 1,200 miles.
316. Racing, Wisconsin, standing by.
Yeah, the other day it occurred to me, I was like, this is absolutely way worse than doing this crap in real life. There's no real sense of accomplishment here most of the time. 9 times out of 10, there's nothing.
Oh, number 10, 316. Racing, wait a minute, right there. Got that flag. What they have.
off that hill hard, and then I started saying, oh, we don't need to come off of that hard, but yes, we do. Look at the lean on that, mama.
Y'all ready to do some puffing and then we do some passing?
Was that 837 in the BAM over there?
Find some better CB traffic today.
Hey, thanks again for the get
What's
back
this?
again now, my friend. Bye-bye now. 918, catch you around the corner. Bye-bye.
Let's see, which one is this?
Hey, all those good station boys, say you order you one more.
Guys like David Allen Coe. We're gonna have to do a hard reset or something. We got some lag today. Whoever called by my name. That's a classic. So I seen this one guy streaming, and he has like 800 viewers every time he streams. Him in his kitchen, wearing his wife's broad lipstick, while he manically, like, people request eat fucked up things out of his kitchen. So, that being said, we need to rethink our game plan, because that guy was getting a lot of money. That's the worst part about it, is there's all these people, they submit to the what is that, cell-to-grade thing. I think that's what it's about, is that someone's like, oh yeah, it's like a fetish or something, where they want to see like, and they'll pay their money to see that. And I don't want to make money at all. That's not what we're here for. It's way more entertaining to play video games when you're streaming than it is to just play video games. So since we're playing a lot of video games, since we start streaming, like, yeah, you know, we're bored. Yeah, this makes it less boring most of the time. And it seems to work pretty good. Like I said, it runs a little better, a little less issues with not streaming, but who cares? It's not like we're doing some fast-paced, high-action, you know. We might start doing farm sim. I know a lot of people like to see it. Farm Sim 25 though is kind of, I don't know, me personally I was disappointed. Thought, man, nothing's changed in 8 years besides things look more like Play-Doh. And yeah, the graphics on 25 were a lot better, but things seemed a lot more broken. Yeah, we're beaver hunting. Yeah, this is the warm-up stream. We've been doing those now. We've been doing like 2 a day. The first one is like, honestly, where I'm waking up and just trying to get a couple loads in, make some money. And then we, you know, go do our routine business, and then when I'm back through the PM, and then we try to do more of the entertaining. So I guess we weren't supposed to exit there.
Seems like the big wind would just rip it down.
Ha 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 ha.
You know, sideways when the wind's blowing. Not sideways, but you know, it's tilting. It's just some heavy ass metal up there, so once it blows one direction, it goes that way. Morning, Mickey T.
Yeah, I did hear Mickey T in there. Oil Mick and trailer parks waving at you too.
Check, check.
Morning, sexy.
Already out there, no doubt. ATP, this thing doing okay over your way anyway.
Oh yeah, it's just touching the red.
Sorry, I had to
Yep.
pee. Now my dog wants to be petted. What are you doing, doggy? Stranger to blue water, dark and dusty. I better be careful, man. We'll get a copyright ding. We sing it so well. Country hoes, take me home to your shagging cabin in the woods. Alright, we need to calm down. Mountain mama, whoa mama. I remember when I was a kid and I seen the Black Dog movie. I didn't know Randy Travis was a country western singer. And when he makes that joke, when he's like, oh, I ought to be in Nashville, you know, when he's showing Patrick Swayze his songs.
Something's wrong if that bitch ain't turning blue in about 3 or 4 days out, leaving it out in the air, man.
Uh-oh. 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 We may have broke our game, everybody. That traffic mod. So yeah, I have a game issue. That's good to know. Traffic's been acting all weird.
Right now.
Take me home. Let's see what happens. Y'all like John Denver? You know he shot his neighbor's dog after winning his Nobel Peace Prize or whatever? Or was it before he won the Nobel Peace Prize? I think it was after he shot his neighbor's dog. Yeah, so if you weren't tuned in, we tried to exit right there, and we hit the invisible wall going 65. And it only, yeah, it fucked us up, but we'll take it.
appreciate y'all taking time out to hit the like button too. It really helps, man. Appreciate it. Coming in at 166671.
gonna stop at this scale house and let the dog out. Yeah, we're gonna let dog outside real quick.
I received here, man, on the bottom side of Illinois, man. Man, I hope you're enjoying all that nice weather you're having out there, man. It's about 37 degrees here. Some rain, maybe. Side of Illinois, Mr. Channel Jammer. Soaking up that sunshine on the west side.
Alright, we're back. We just had to tend to the dog. How's everybody's Sunday? You having fun yet? We're gonna finish up this load. It's gonna take about 25 more minutes, and then we will get ready for the night, Sunday night, fun night stream. What's it gonna entail of? I don't know. We've been trucking a lot, so let's see here. Yeah, we're up to 120 real hours. Coming up on the 100th day. Things will get better though. Once you hit about 2 years of game time passed, things get better. The used truck market gets bigger. This game, it only spawns in used or new trucks even in the used market. So for the first 2 years, you'll have used trucks that are $100,000, $200,000, and then you always have the internationals and stuff with high miles, well, low miles in real life, for next to nothing. But the Peterbilts don't, Kenworths don't. But after about 2 years of game time, these will accumulate about 1 million miles, and then they'll be like 10 grand. unless we puff and start. Unless we had some like weird glitch happen. Because I looked online and it said there's no way to find trucks with that $5. Well, I did. I got the same haul. So I'm guessing it's a time thing. $166,300 now that we burnt some more fuel. We're going to need diesel soon. We ain't gonna make it to the drop off without another tank of diesel.
to check out this glitch. This is awesome. We'll be able to witness this while fueling. As far as I know, this is the only truck stop that does this. He might not move because I'm sitting here off of this. It's funny as hell, ain't it? These dudes will straight up run your ass over to the truck stop, to the truck stops. That might real collision recognition, so if you're not careful, they'll drive right into you. We are going to sleep. Lowboying at night, you don't really get to do it in real life. Oh man, why does that driver suck so bad? Let's see here. I'm fucking tired of that chick, man. We are maxed out still. We're in more debt than we were in yesterday. And we got less money. We're just running. This chick's running us into the ground, man. Yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah.
And she's a higher level rating of a driver than I am.
I did that shit in wood shop, I remember back
So,
in the day.
if this next load doesn't make at least $500, firing her. Yvonne Pina, you're screwed. There's this one chick. Let's see if she's in the hiring pool right now. Ooh, that chick's got, looks like a
Use a fucking
burnt out June Carter.
propane tank on one of those.
Yeah, her wage isn't crazy. So, yeah, that sucks, man. At first, I figured it was the International. That's why she couldn't make my money. I thought, oh, it's the truck. It's not a very good truck. Should have bought a model. I drove it yesterday. It's capable of all sorts of stuff. then we be passing, man. We gone.
316. There's the radar. Weed smoker, weed smoker, weed smoker. Hey, better help it, 'cause they still got potty laying down there. I just did it real quick. 14, ain't no doubt about it. You're number one weed smoker. Number one weed smoker around the bluegrass. Smoking. I thought that's supposed to be no good for you. I thought that's supposed to be no I'm very low this here ground plane that I'm on. I'm gonna put this thing closer to the ground there, Roger.
Yeah, just short of 65,000. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we've been doing a lot longer. Scoop. Where that needs picked up from. I think that needs picked up from where we're at right now. Let's see. I don't think they mind me going 30 miles an hour in the yard. Adio. Take a look, because we're missing a lot of money. Yeah, dude, that chick sucks, man. I don't know what it is about her. We'll give her a chance, though, to drop off them panels. She did get a backhaul from Missoula, Montana to Evanston. Let's say that one, like, backhaul pays, like, really good. And then I'll be like, okay, it's the game and things, not her. And she's using our trailer, so it's like she's getting the best rate for a flatbed that a flatbed can get. And Montana to Wyoming should pay like $3.50 a mile. That's one thing I wish that they would add, is to show you what the rate per mile they hauled was, so you knew if it was like that or something else.
In the war zone. Now just remember you kind of up and down a little bit, buddy. That's what you're gonna do.
I won't lie, I've never seen coal stockpiled like that. I don't think you would stockpile it that big, because if you had spontaneous combustion, you know what I mean? The typical stockpiles look like, kind of like over here, you know, yeah, that's a little more, and that stuff gets loaded out fast. Thanks for stopping, Unit 45. I about post-holed you. Oh, are you a lady? Ah, I should have had a collision. My bad. Oh yeah, it's not my truth.
I mean, it definitely works, because I did exactly what you're trying to do with somebody else, and we did some tests one night, so it definitely works.
That'll be our next job. It's here, but we're gonna take